Hey guys, just got back to the shop. Wet and rainy day today. I want to make sure I always open up all my doors and Godzilla so he can air out really nicely. Um, but I'm making this video. Well, there's some cushions I picked up. I actually got to clean those. This is my 2.5 inch hose that's here that I got set up on the truck. That came in, and this is going to connect it to my 2 inch hose, so I'm excited about that. Always trying to increase that airflow. And this is one of my white natural chairs that I got ready, prepared for delivery. I'll just touch it up. I need to spray some protector on it. That's another cushion that came in that I got to correct and clean. And need to go through some of my agents and see what I need. But I just want to share a testimony today about what happened with me today when it came to meeting a customer today. So on my second stop today, it was I was hired by a designer, and the designer wanted me to come and protect some chairs, basically some bar stools with some backs on it, and basically want me to put some protection on them, and for their client. So, make a long story short, I get to the place. Now, my house called Pro. It shows the house, but the house was old, one level, small, probably 1,000 square foot home. But I knew that wouldn't be the case when a designer calls or a designer firm calls. So I knew the house would probably look totally different. And when I got there, the house was completely different. I mean, it probably was a couple $1 million house um, when I got there. So I was like, I wasn't surprised about that. So anyways, back my truck in, pouring down rain all day today. I go up to the side door because I saw some activity around the kitchen area, and went in and knocked on the door. Of course, they have a lot of glass on the door. And who do I see? I see a customer that I've had for almost 7 years in this home, and she's waving, and I waved, and she came and opened the door. She was like, Chandler. She gave me a big hug. I was like, wow. Let's say her name is Mary. Mary, what are you doing here? I'm so glad to see you. That's what I told her. I haven't seen you in a while. And I so appreciate you. She said, oh, yeah, they're doing, she's the customer of the designer. And the designer's like looking like, okay. So, long story short, my longtime customer is the customer of the firm that called me to protect the furniture. And she told me, she said, Chandler, I was asking them, the Chandler that you got coming today, is that my Chandler? Is that the one that I've been using for years? The one that I tell everybody about? And it's come to find out it was. And so in my city, it's very competitive. There's a lot of work here to be done, a lot of all carpet cleaners everywhere and all this type of thing. But this one particular customer has made Atlanta much smaller for me. And what I mean by that is the designer, I told Mary, I said, Mary, thank you so much for making Atlanta much smaller for me. And the designer said, oh, Chandler, knowing Mary will make your city smaller for you. Before we met her, we've done work for people that she knew that was connected to her. And you're absolutely right. It makes the city smaller. So I was so excited. And I already know that I've been getting good customers. I've been focusing on that for years, just focusing on the type of customer that I want. But to see it in the flesh, to see my customers are merging, they're connecting, they're all in the same circles, same type of customers. And I'm getting in those circles and I'm in those circles, and it makes the city smaller. And reason why is because those customers reproduce after themselves. And they produce and they produce for you and for me. And I was so excited. She gave me a hug when I left. I thanked her for all the wonderful referrals she sent me. She's always giving me a plug on Nextdoor, Facebook, and I have customers today that's called me because of her and don't even know her, just because of what she said. And this is one customer. I can't go into details. Maybe if I'm in a speaking engagement, or maybe if I'm teaching a class, maybe I can go into details on how this one customer really got me jump started in Atlanta when I moved my business to Atlanta. But I'm just going to speak in general to if you're a cleaner out there, small business, and you're trying to gain customers and you really want to get good customers, if you're just trying to get out there and work, this is going to go right over your head and it means nothing. But if you have a desire to learn and have a desire to improve and a desire to move a different level than where you at, this is going to penetrate your heart and in your mind. And it's going to get you thinking. Well, before this particular customer, this customer was non-existent to me. And what I mean by that, all around us, I'm going to give you how I think. All around us are different worlds or universes. Okay? Chandler Thompson has his world. They encompass my family, encompass my business, encompass my activities, people I know, people I run into. All that I do in my world encompass all the activity that I have, what I'm doing, accomplish what I'm trying to do. Just real simple. It encompasses things, all that's around you is your world. Okay? And you're going to function in that world. Okay? Then it's going to be a business world. But a lot of times, and this is just philosophically thinking, ain't no business 101, business 102, and so on and so forth. So listen to what I'm saying. Sometimes when we start a business, a small business, and specifically a carpet cleaning business, we'll function in the world that we're in. And there's nothing wrong with that. You have to start where you need to start. But please understand, there are worlds all around you that you don't have access to. And I'm going to give you an example. The customers that I have will call me and want something done. So they call you and say, Chandler, I need this upholstery clean, Chandler, I need this carpet clean, Chandler, I need this repair, or Chandler, I need help with this, some accidents. When can you get to it? Or give me just your first opening. That customer is not concerned about whether they can afford me or not. Then you have the other customer. There's plenty of those customers. And yes, I admit, there's fewer of those type of customers I just described. Then you have the other customers where there's so many of them, how much you charge? Can you do it today? Those customers don't reproduce after themselves. So if you're going to work for them, know that your reward is what you get for the job you did. They're not going to reproduce. They're not going to tell anybody about you. They're going to send referrals. Probably don't want their referrals because the people the birds of feathers flock together. So the people that they're around them are probably the same way. On the other hand, the customer like Mary not only hired me to work in her home, and she specifically hired me first to do her rugs. So I went and picked up her rugs. She loved it. And she's used me over and over again for different services in her home, outside the home, referred me to a lot of people, sing my praises, give me tips, pay whatever I'm asking, never argue about the price, never have to discuss the price. I just want the job done. I want the job done right. Expect professionalism. They expect it because I'm going to give it anyways. So of course they expect it. So I can't get into details of that, but she functioned in a world where price It's not the first question. Well, price is not the first thought. Her first thought is, how can I get this problem solved? And who can help me with it? So if in your world that you live in your universe that you function in, do you think about price first? Or do you think about the solution first? Because if you start thinking about the solution first and how you can accomplish it, and then how you overcome the price, then you're going to be in more the mindset of the universe. At least I am going to be more in the mindset of the universe that I'm trying to work in. Because I want to be in that world that maybe I don't necessarily have access to all the time, where price is not an issue, where quality is expected, where they want to use not the big box companies and not the lowball companies, but they want to use the specialists who they can trust, who they can give the code to their house, who know that they know what they're talking about, who's been educated, who's skilled. They want the specialists. And so I function, Classic Care now functions in that realm of specialists, in that realm of people who don't ask for price. They just expect the solution to be solved. They just want it done. So guys, all around you, there are different worlds all around you that people live in that you don't have access to. I was saying this today to some of my buddies. Have you ever noticed if you go to a department store, how all the luxury items will be on back order? Or they may have one or two. Always sold out. I bought season tickets to the Hawks game. All the luxury tickets were almost completely booked out. Luxury boxes completely booked out. Luxury seats, floor seats completely booked out. I have season tickets to the Falcons game. Same thing. They have no problem selling the luxury items. Why is that? Because those people function in a different world that you and I may not be in. Price is not an issue. They simply want the best experience. And so once I realized that and understood that I am worthy and I'm capable of providing the experience that they're looking for, therefore I will be welcome into their world, welcome into their universe, in which overall in turn will help me to profit more overall in my business, function in their universe than necessarily in another one. They don't think like them. Another example, and this is probably going to be my last one. I used to function in this, in an area that I don't function anymore, okay, in the city. Then I started going to the suburbs. And the reason why I started going to the suburbs is that's where people, the type of customer I wanted to work for. Then about going on 6 years now, about 5 years ago, I moved Classic Care Services to Atlanta because I felt like Atlanta was going to be the place to be for me to have the customers that I want and who's going to appreciate the services that I provide. And I had a customer last week. I corrected some chairs for him and I protected the rest of his chairs at his house. And he asked me, he said, Chandler, how long you been doing it? We talked about it. And I told him, well, I moved my business here, 5 years ago. He said, Chandler, that was probably the best move in your life, huh? In your business life. I said, well, how'd you know that? He said, man, this is the place to be. This is where the customers are who's going to pay and appreciate the services that you provide. And this customer was exactly right. It's the best business move I've ever made in my life, was to move to the area where the customers I wanted to serve, and then I began to network, market, whatever each customer that I did, make sure I gave them the best that I can get. I'm not perfect, but gave them the best effort a perfect effort. And then each one of those customers began to reproduce after themselves and allow me into their universe and allow me into their world, sharing me with their friends, sharing me with their families. And now I work from sun up to sundown with my ideal customer. And I can turn people down all day long if they're not my ideal customer. So guys, I can't get into specifics because this video will be an hour long. But what I want to say in closing, realize there are different worlds all around you that you don't have access to. You may see somebody that's in a different world, and you may make assumptions in your mind about what they do, how they think. Guys, decide what customer you want, what world you want to function in, and to begin to think like that, and to begin to network and do the things it takes to get in that world and establish yourself. Because I know the world that I'm in now, I couldn't imagine 10 years ago that I would have been in it. And it continues to multiply each and every week. So I just wanted to share that testimony. I was really excited about it today, to see it in the flesh, to see that I'm in that world of designers. I'm in that world where a customer redos the entire house from the ground up. In that world where they want me to come and protect their furniture. Call me to protect it. I don't have to come up with some sales gimmick to sell protection. They just say, hey, I want my stuff protected. I love this furniture. I want to protect my investment. Call me to correct things. I'm the go-to guy. So a potential customer called today. Spoke with my receptionist. Hey, everybody's been talking about Chandler. All my friends have used Chandler. I want to know will he come? Yes, but she wanted done before Thanksgiving. Sorry, Chandler's booked up past Thanksgiving. So I'm in her space. I'm in her world. And I have access to her, but she didn't have access to me. But she saw me, she heard about me, and I'm in that space. And that's the space I want to be in, where I have a strong reputation. People don't ask price. I go in and give them the best. And I walk out with my head up, knowing I gave them the best, where they call me back again. But knowing I gave my best and they expecting the best. So guys, realize there are other worlds that you don't have access to. And if you want to get access to them, give me a call. Have a good evening.